Hundreds of hikers I've worked with have all told me the exact same thing. They feel slow on the trail, they burn out too fast on elevation gains, and they just can't keep up with their hiking partners. If that sounds familiar, here's the truth. It's probably not because you need more cardio. It's because most hikers are missing this critical piece of the training equation, power. But we're going to change that today so that you can implement these principles starting in your very next training session. And stick around to the end of the video because I'm going to share an actual video that I recorded for my group coaching clients where I take you through a full power circuit in real time, implementing exactly what I'm talking about in this video. You'll see me perform the workout and explain exactly what I'm doing, and you can steal it and add it to your own training literally today if you want. If you're new here, my name's James Appleton. I'm an author, coach, guide, and the creator of the Mountain Strength Method. I've helped hundreds of hikers worldwide transform both their confidence and their physical ability out on the trail simply by building more strength, more power, and more resilience. The same power you build in the gym is what keeps you strong out on the trail. So let's talk about power. But before we do, click that like and subscribe button so you don't miss the next video. Now let's start out by defining what exactly power is and why your training probably lacks it. So when it comes to strength training, strength is simply the ability to produce force. It's your ability to move something, to lift a weight. Power, on the other hand, is the ability to produce force fast, to lift fast. It's force times speed. So when you're out on the trail, you need bursts, like you're pushing off rocks, you're accelerating uphill, you're changing direction quickly, reacting when you trip on something, you fall and your foot changes. All of these things are producing force, and the faster you can do it, the better off you're going to be out there. This is why power comes in. So if your training never challenges that speed component as well, your body's not going to adapt to be able to handle it. And power also declines rapidly as you get older. So if you don't train it, unfortunately, you're going to lose it. So if longevity is on your radar, power is going to be something we need to implement right away in your training. Now, this power thing, it's not just something that is in my brain. This is just how it works. Take a look at Steve, 70 years old, never strength trained in his life until he started coming to me. Now he's out there doing longer miles, higher elevation gain, and bigger days in the mountains than he did even 10 years ago, including just doing the Great Range Traverse in the Adirondack Park, over 20 miles, over 8,000 feet of elevation gain, 8 Adirondack high peaks in one day. And the very next day, he just felt sore like he'd just done a workout, nothing more. He trained for power, he trained for strength, and he got his body strong and durable. Then there's Chet. Chet just became an Adirondack 46er. Before Chet started working with me, all he did was hike to get in shape for hiking. And then what happened after every hike? He'd have to take 1 or 2 days off of work because his body was too wrecked. Now, on top of doing longer days, on top of doing more mountains in a day, he's going to work the next day like nothing happened, feeling great. The proof is in the pudding. So now that you know what power is, let me show you how to train it properly, because that's really what we're here for, and then how to become durable at the exact same time. So number one, when we're lifting for power, we have to be lifting with intention. So when you press, when you squat, when you deadlift, I want you to be trying to lift fast, forceful. You lift the weight, boom. I want you to push heavy. I want you to push fast. So when the weight comes down, that's called the eccentric part of the lift. And when the weight goes back up, that's called the concentric. So notice you're changing directions. So when you're training for power, you want to come down slowly and then really forcefully, boom, change direction fast. That's how you're going to improve your power output. You're moving the weight quickly. And for your muscles and your joints to be able to reverse direction like that, fast and strong, that's a huge piece of the power equation. Now, when you train for power like this, you're not only creating the ability to produce force, but you're helping your body learn to absorb force like a shock absorber, which we all know when we're out on the trail, having some shock absorbers on those joints, really awesome. Next, I want you to include some explosive movements into your training where you are exploding. Think things like jump squats, exploding out of the hole when you're squatting, broad jumps, kettlebell swings, sandbag tosses, these different training exercises that involve a good amount of force. And these types of power movements are also going to recruit more muscle fibers doing the work, which actually means you're going to burn more calories doing it too, as well as building that horsepower. So win-win right there for a little fat loss added bonus to the mix. Next, I want you to also include some contrast sets, as I call them. This is what this means. I want you to pair a heavy strength lift and immediately after do a lighter explosive movement. So one example would be a heavy set of squats, let's say 5 or 6 reps with a heavier weight, and immediately after racking the weight, go do 5 jump squats very powerfully immediately after you put the weight down. What you're gonna find is your body is producing a large amount of force, and those squat jumps are gonna be even more forceful because of what you just did right before that. Another example would be bench pressing. Do 5 or 6 reps of a bench press and then immediately get on the floor and do 3 to 5 push-ups with power. Boom, 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 boom. Just like that, you're creating the ability to produce force fast. So you don't always need to chase the heaviest weights. Sometimes you need to have like a moderate to heavy weight and just move it fast. Focus on moving it fast and powerfully. This is how your body's going to build the ability to handle all those little surprises you get when you're out in the backcountry, when you trip on a root or you have to jump off of a ledge and then all of a sudden your knees can handle that sort of thing. And doing all this work in the gym, you're not just going to feel stronger out on the trail. It's going to have so many more benefits for just your everyday life as well. So there's lots of benefits to training for power. Trail benefits are going to include more horsepower per step when you're going uphill. Sure, you can walk faster, but when you walk with more power, your body generates that force and develops horsepower so that you can move faster. And over the course of an entire hike, you're going to increase your speed and your distance covered. Trust me. And then when you're going downhill, your body becomes more capable of absorbing the force through your joints. Your muscles can handle it. Your joints can handle it because you've trained your body in a way to absorb that force like a shock absorption. And you're just naturally going to be better with these quick reactions that we have to do. You stumble, you trip on something. Having a stronger power capacity is going to help you catch yourself rather than fall. Therefore, being safer when you're out there. Just another reason why strength training is going to improve your safety when you are out in the woods. You're going to improve your resilience and your injury resistance. Training for power is going to strengthen your muscles, your tendons, your tissues, and everything that you need under load. When you're out in the mountains, everything is under load. This is ultimately just making your body way more durable, not just for hiking, but for everyday life, because we all know our lives extend far beyond just the hiking trail, right? And power training is going to give you that metabolic boost, fat loss, right? Power work, you're recruiting more muscle. So again, you're burning more calories per session, which elevates your metabolism post-workout. So you just keep burning calories. Ultimately, who doesn't want to shed a few extra pounds of body fat? So it's a very nice bonus to this power training. Now, I can talk about it all day long, but nothing really is the same as seeing it in action. So I want you to see exactly how I program power into training. So next is a clip I'm going to share with you from my coaching clients. It's going to show me doing a full circuit and narrating what I'm focusing on and how I'm executing the movements with purpose. What I'm talking about in this video, you're going to see it in real time. And hey, get a pen and paper, steal the routine, add it into your training session, start training like this in a circuit like this. You're going to see a huge improvement over time in your ability out on the trail. And again, if you want a program that ties all this together, strength, power, endurance, nutrition, that's exactly what I do for all of my coaching clients and all of my program. But first, check out this circuit. Let's take a watch. All right, what's up, Trailblazers? I'm going to film an entire run through this first set of this new training protocol that we're going to be doing this month. These are the North Star complexes, as I'm calling them. So you can see exactly how to do them. The point of this is about power. You want to lift each rep forcefully. That's the goal of this month, is to be lifting with force. So it doesn't mean you're going to always be using the heaviest weight. Still is going to be moderate to heavy, but you want to really focus on the power behind each rep. So I'm going to start this to kind of give you the idea of that, also that in-between exercise that you'll notice on all these complexes. There's always going to be that body weight exercise. That's an explosive exercise. When you train explosively, you get your joints stronger and you'll just allow your body to move with force, and which is going to let you obviously move things faster and better, become stronger, and also become way more resilient to also absorb things like falls and trips and all that jazz. So anyways, I'm going to film an entire set. So you don't have to watch this if you don't want, but this is going to demonstrate how these circuits should be carried out. I do the Marcy protocol. All right, so I did those as explosively as possible, and then immediately moving into this, the jump squats. And focusing on being as explosive as possible. All right, now we move on to the next exercise. Right into it. So now this is the step-ups. Grab my dumbbells, come do the step-ups, 10 per leg. Focusing on pushing my front foot through that bench as much as possible and as hard as possible. That's how you're lifting with intention and force. I think this is 10. Ugh. So just forcing, pushing the foot through the bench as fast and hard as possible. All right. And now, immediately into that in-between movement, the explosive jump squats. Holy, tired, the legs. And now into the thrusters. Once again, as explosively as possible. Woo, it gets the heart going. These circuits, big time. As explosively as possible. You don't have to keep watching if you don't want to. You get the point. But now immediately into the 5 reps. Whoa, those legs are jello. All right. And for the final exercise, the burpee broad jumps, which I'm doing out here. You hold the camera, June. So you'll see the burpee broad jumps. Stay right there, bird. You see how explosive and you're jumping out. So this explosiveness, once again, is going to allow your body to absorb impact. Again, you trip on a root, you slip off the sidewalk, you have some stupid little fall in your house. Keeping these joints strong is how it's going to help you from not being injured. And then also, get your heart rate going. So you're going to burn some calories this month. One big explosive movement. Explode up and jump. I think that's 7.
And one more, I think. And that's it. So today's 4 rounds of this with a 2-minute rest in between. That's how these circuits are to be done. Have some fun.
So take that circuit, take that way of training and implement it into your own program. And I guarantee you're going to see a major improvement over time with your ability out in the hiking trail. And your body's just going to be stronger and more resilient in anything you're doing, whether you're hiking or just in your everyday life. And if you're tired of feeling slow and feeling super wiped out on the trail, and you want a path to being strong, fast, and durable so that you can hike forever, improving your strength is going to improve your capacity, and improving your power is going to improve your capability, guarantee it. So if you're tired of doing it alone, book a call with me at the link below, and I'll see you on the call. For the rest of you, click that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.